Hello students, welcome to Geography class of 10th standard, and today we are going to start with very interesting topic, that is agriculture in India introduction. The objectives of the day are to discuss about the importance of agriculture, its salient features, green revolution, and the problems of the agriculture. Before we start the topic, let's discuss the important terms of the day. Number 1, agriculture. Man's management of the environment to produce food. Second, livestock. Farm animals who are raised to generate a profit. Third one is raw material, the basic material from which a product is made. Fourth is intensive agriculture, a kind of agriculture where a lot of money and labor are used to increase the yield. Number 5 is rural electrification, the process of bringing electrical power to rural areas. Number 6 is subsistence agriculture, a system of agriculture in which the farmer produces for his own consumption. And number 7 is irrigation, a process of supplying water to the crops by artificial means. Students, let me give you a big picture of the chapter. The term agriculture has been derived from two Latin words, ager meaning land and culture meaning cultivation. Thus, the word agriculture stands for cultivation of land. Agriculture includes not only land cultivation for growing crops, but also horticulture, sericulture, livestock rearing, pisciculture, agroforestry, etc. In India, the farmer can grow any crop, and this is due to the following reasons. Number 1 is suitable climatic conditions almost throughout the year. Number 2 is long growing season, that is also almost throughout the year. Next one, the land is leveled and the soils are fertile. Next is enough water is available for irrigating the farmland. Now students, take out your geography book. Lesson number 10, page number 204, Agriculture in India, Part 1, Introduction. Let's start with the reading. Agriculture, its importance in India. The term agriculture broadly means man's management of the environment to produce food. Agriculture has been practiced in India since ages. Net sown area still accounts for about 46.6% of the total cultivable area of India. Nearly two-thirds of Indian population depends on agriculture directly or indirectly. While relative importance of agriculture has been reduced as a consequence of the rapid industrial development, agriculture still forms the backbone of Indian economy. Agriculture not only provides food and fodder to human beings and livestock, it is also the source of raw material for many key industries, example sugar, textile, and edible oil. India is a very prominent country for agricultural point of view. Its undulating topographic, varied climate with sufficient sunshine, ideal temperature, and two main growing seasons provide conditions necessary for agriculture. Improvements in the agriculture techniques increases the demand for tractor, harvesters, threshers, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides, etc. Industries are then set up to meet the demands. Thus, agriculture not only supplies raw material to the industry, it also acts as a consumer of many industrial products. It provides employment to millions of people. Many agricultural products are exported, and export of tea, tobacco, coffee, jute, and cotton bring in the much needed foreign exchange. By the word exported, it means send goods to another country for sale.
Of course, students, agriculture provides not only food for the rapidly growing population of India, but also provides a wide variety of raw materials for the agro based industries such as sugar, textile, food processing, etc. The entire agriculture system creates demand for a large variety of manufactured goods such as tractor, threshers, harvesters, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, pumps, etc. Agriculture provides employment to millions of landless families in the rural areas in India. Agriculture plays an important role in Indian economy and contribute about 20% of gross domestic product. So students, next point is salient features of Indian agriculture, which are as follow: subsistence type of agriculture, pressure of population on agriculture, importance of animals, dependent upon monsoon, variety of crops, predominance of food crops.
Insignificant place to given food crops. Let's do the reading. Salient features of Indian agriculture. Number one is dependence on monsoons. Indian agriculture has always been dependent on the arrival of monsoon, which is highly unreliable, both uncertain and irregular. The large scale irrigation serves only one third of crop area. The remaining has to suffer the vagaries of monsoons. Vagaries means unexpected. Students, the rainy season in our country is limited to a few months, that is, from June to September. A major part of rainfall during the monsoon season is not only irregular and uncertain, but also unreliable. The rainfall is also unevenly distributed. Thus, about 65% of the net sown area in our country depends on the vagaries of seasonal rainfall. Second point is variety of crops. India's vast relief, varying climatic and soil conditions, produce a variety of crops. Both tropical, subtropical, and temperate crops like wheat and barley are grown. Students, India is a very prominent country from agricultural point of view. Its undulating topography, varied climate with sufficient sunshine, ideal temperature, and two main growing seasons provide conditions necessary for agriculture. Point number 3 is preponderance of food crops, means importance of food crops. More emphasis on food crops. Since India has to feed a large population, preponderance of food crops over other crops is the most important feature of Indian agriculture. More than two-thirds of the total cropped area is taken up by cultivation of food crops. Students, to fulfill the demand of population, the Indian farmer has to be give focus on food crops instead of cash crops. Next point is agriculture pattern, that is crop seasons. India has three main crop seasons which are most influenced by the changing seasons. Number 1 is Kharif, number 2 is Rabi, number 3 is Zaid. So first of all, what is Kharif? Kharif season, when ground is prepared in April May and seeds are sown in June on arrival of rain. Harvesting is done in the beginning of November. Major crops of this seasons are rice, maize, jowar, bajra, cotton, sesame, groundnut, pulses, and jute. Students, there are specific type of weather for every type of crop. The crop which is grown in Kharif season is known as summer cropping season, and the crop which is grown in Rabi season, that is called a winter cropping season. Kharif season, when ground is prepared in April May and seeds are sown in June on arrival of rain, and harvesting is done in the beginning of November, and the important crop is rice. Second cropping season is Rabi season. The ground is prepared by the end of October or beginning of November, and harvesting takes place in March.
Major crops of this seasons are wheat, barley, jowar, gram, oilseeds, etc.
Third cropping season is Zaid season. It is the summer cropping season in which crops like rice, maize, groundnut, vegetables, and fruits are grown along with pulses. This season comes in between the Rabi and Kharif season to increase and maintain the fertility of the soil. They all are mostly leguminous plants, which increase the fertility of the soil. Next point is Green Revolution. The Green Revolution in late 60s brought a turning point in Indian agriculture. Students, the various measures taken by the state and central governments have resulted in increasing the agriculture production in many parts of India. A new package of agriculture practices was introduced in 1967, which is known as the Green Revolution. It owes its origin in the finding of new varieties of wheat seeds by Dr. Norman Ernest Borlaug. In India, these seeds were first field tested in the drought year of 1964 and 65. Students, in 1966, about 15,000 tons of these high yielding varieties of seeds were imported for culturing about 4 lakh hectares of land. As a result of this, India not only became self sufficient in food production but also exported some food grains for the first time in 1977. The Green Revolution has the following components. Number one is yields increased 3 times, multiple cropping, other crops grown which varied the diet, surplus to sell in cities, creating a profit, improving the standard of living, allows purchase of fertilizers, machinery, etc. India becomes self sufficient in food grains. The Green Revolution was successful in Punjab, Haryana, and western Uttar Pradesh in respect of wheat production and in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh in respect of rice production. There is no reason as to why other states in India did not benefit from the Green Revolution. Let's read the same topic, Green Revolution, on page number 205. The Green Revolution in late 60s brought a turning point in Indian agriculture. Under the Intensive Agriculture Development Program IADP, several measures were adopted simultaneously, means side by side. These programs were aimed at transforming the agriculture sector and increase the food crop production to meet the increasing demand. The following measures were adopted: use of high yielding varieties of seeds, irrigation, use of insecticides and pesticides, consolidation of holdings, land forms, rural electrification, improved rural infrastructure, supply of agriculture credit, use of chemicals, fertilizers, opening of agriculture universities. These efforts led to remarkable increase in productivity and have made India self-sufficient in food production. By 2010 to 11, the production of food grains increased 4 times what it was immediately after independence. The Green Revolution has been most remarkable in the states of Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Now, next topic is problems of Indian agriculture. Students, the agriculture sector in India is facing many problems. Some of the problems are due to natural factors, while many others are due to human activities. Let's start with the reading and explanation side by side. Take out your page number 206, Problems of Indian Agriculture. Number one is small and fragmented land holdings. are the most common features of Indian agriculture. Intensive farming, increasing population, and the practice of dividing and subdividing land for inheritance are some of the drawbacks of our agriculture. A lot of time and labor is wasted in taking care of smaller holdings. Irrigation too becomes difficult. Further, a lot of fertile land is wasted in raising boundaries. The small holdings are not enough to support a large family. In villages, joint family systems still exist and holdings becomes smaller with each generation as it passes with the division from fathers to their sons. In many states like Punjab, Haryana, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan, consolidation of holdings, that is, reallocation of holdings which are fragmented, is taking place. Students, out of the total sown area of about 150 million hectares, most of the land holdings are either uneconomical or scattered. The small and fragmented land holdings are common in the densely populated and intensively cultivated states in India. The small and uneconomical land holdings are due to the inheritance law of our country. The average size of land holdings was about 3 hectares at the end of third 5-year plan, which has now reduced to about 1.2 hectares. It is estimated that more than 60% of the land holdings are less than 1 hectare. The division of agricultural land among sons and daughters is the main cause for backwardness of our agriculture system.
Next point is poor quality of seeds. Unfortunately, due to poverty, good quality seeds are out of reach of a majority of farmers because of their exorbitant prices. Exorbitant means expensive. Poor quality seeds are responsible for poor productivity. To solve this problem, the Government of India established the National Seeds Corporation of India in 1963. Its aim being to augment the supply of improved seeds to farmers. Now, students, the availability of good quality and high yielding varieties of seeds is necessary for higher crop yields and sustained growth in agriculture production. But in India, the good quality seeds are expensive, and the small and marginal farmers cannot afford to use the high yielding varieties of seeds. Next problem is lack of proper use of manure and fertilizer. Manures and fertilizers are essential for retention of the fertility of the soil. Unfortunately, continuous use of Indian soil without use of proper manure has led to depletion and exhaustion of soil, resulting in low productivity. Students, the average yield of almost each crop is among the lowest in the world. The poor and marginal farmers in India cannot afford to buy the expensive chemical fertilizers and biocides. Next problem is pests and diseases. Protection of crops from various pests, diseases, and insects is very essential. Biocides, pesticides, herbicides, and weedicides are used to save crops from the above diseases and avoid losses. Farmers should be educated about protection of crops and use of biocides. Now, students, mark all the important word meanings. Number one is insecticides, chemical substances used to kill insects. Second one is herbicides, chemical substances used to kill weeds. Fungicides, chemical substances used to kill fungus. Rodenticides, chemical substances used to kill rodents. Now, students, pest can include weeds, plant like fungi, viruses, rodents, mites are estimated to destroy as much as one third of agriculture yield by reducing the quality of crops. Pest eats up leaves of crops, thereby reducing the photosynthetic activity of the plants.
That's why farmers should be educated about protection of crops and use of proper biocides. Next problem is traditional upbringing. Most of the Indian farmers do not like change. They stick to their traditional ways of farming or produce only for their own needs. Thus, there is a little improvement and the agriculture remains subsistence type. Heavy rains in many areas cause heavy soil erosion affected agriculture production. Next problem is erratic nature of rainfall. In spite of all the measures taken to provide irrigation, agriculture production is affected in many areas due to unprecedented rainfall or a full season of little rainfall. Next one is floods and droughts are common. These affect the agriculture production as both conditions amount to natural calamities and cause heavy loss to the farmer. Let's discuss all this together. Students, the agriculture research in India did not match the international standards. There was not enough communication between the research institutions and the farmers. The small farmers could not enjoy the benefits of agriculture research due to poverty. The farmers could not get a proper education and training about the new techniques of agriculture. That's why they stick to their own traditional ways of farming or produce only for their own needs. Next problem is soil erosion. Large areas of cultivable land with fertile soils are exposed to soil erosion by running water, wind, deforestation, overgrazing, occasional heavy rains, etc. The erosion of soils not only reduces its fertility but also affects the yield of crops per hectare. In many parts of India, valuable farmland has become barren and unfit for agriculture due to continuous soil erosion. Next problem is excessive pressure on land. With increasing population and limited land, our agriculture is mostly subsistence type. Moreover, most of the farmers are still ignorant and illiterate. Although efforts are being made by providing all modern means of education like television sets, schools, free education programs, the progress is very slow and that is the biggest drawback to the progress of developing country like us. The contrast between the people of urban areas and rural population is striking. Last point is low yield. In India, average yield of crops is much lower as compared to other countries because of the reasons stated above. However, the government in the recent 5-year plans has taken many steps to increase crop productivity. Ignorance of farmers and their inability to get good manure have been reasons for poor state of soils. Cow dung provides the best manure to soils, but in rural areas it is mostly used as a dung cakes in the kitchen in place of fuel. Chemical fertilizers are too costly and beyond the reach of poor farmers. However, the government is now taking various measures and is given high incentives, especially in the form of heavy subsidies for using chemical fertilizers. Students, besides this, we are having some more problems like agriculture marketing. Most of the farmers in our country depend upon local traders or brokers to sell their farm produce. He gets the minimum price for it. In most cases, the farmers sell the farm produce to the money lenders from whom they usually borrow money. In the rural areas, the marketing of agriculture products is neither adequate nor standardized. The market is actually dominated by private traders and middlemen. Second one is low status of farmers. Farming as an occupation does not enjoy the status of honor in India. The farmers are generally poor, helpless, and lack of enthusiasm. The children of the farmers are not interested in agriculture profession and are willing to accept even a petty jobs in towns. The rich farmers invest their surplus income in non-agriculture activities. They do not make serious efforts to raise the status of agriculture in India. Other than these all, we are having one more important problem that is land tenancy. Most of the farmers in different states of India are not the owners of land. The agricultural land in our country was owned by zamindars who were not actual cultivators. Poor landless villagers, even today, are forced to till the land of absentee landlords. The tenant cultivators did not take much interest in the growth and development of agriculture in India. All of this, we are having one major problem, that is a lack of crop diversification. Most of the farmers in India prefer to grow only food crops and give secondary status to other crops. We know that India has the largest cattle wealth in the world, but only about 4% of the total cropped area is under fodder crops. India could not achieve balanced growth in agriculture due to the neglect of non-food crops. Today we have shortage of oilseeds, pulses, cotton and many other cash crops. However, the government is now taking various measures. The central and state governments have taken several steps to improve the system of agriculture in India. It is necessary to increase the production of food grains and other cash crops. To achieve this aim, several remedial measures have been taken through the 5-year plans. Some of them are as under: the problem of small and fragmented land holdings was solved through consolidation of land holdings. The government has taken steps to provide good quality and high yielding varieties of seeds to farmers at low prices. The problem of irregular, uncertain, and unreliable seasonal rainfall can be solved either by bringing more farmland under some type of irrigation or by adopting dry farming programs. To reduce soil erosion, the farmers were advised to keep the land covered with some crop almost throughout the year. The governments have given a subsidy for using chemical fertilizers. It has been planned to bring at least half of the total cropped area under assured irrigation. Adequate and accessible storage of facility for farm products has been developed which can save the farmers from distress sale. The Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is linking the rural areas with state and national highways. To save the farmers from local traders and middlemen, the governments fix the minimum purchase price for various crops every year. The government has started many agriculture colleges, universities, and research institutions to educate and help farmers. The government is also encouraging the farmers to adopt the system of mixed farming and work in cottage industries in their free time. The farmers are also getting diesel, electricity, and water at highly subsidized rates. So, students, this is all about today's topic. We will meet very soon with the next topic, that is types of farming in India. Hope you understood. Have a nice day, all.